Oh, hey.
Oh, man. Oh, I didn't see you there. But that's right, because we are back and back on a Saturday. Welcome back to Saturday Day Live. Man, that gets me pumping, man. What say you, man?
Well, every time since it started, I've been fist pumping my way into the stream. So
Yeah.
it gets me hyped.
Listen, Ryan was starting to get pissed off. He was like, dude, start the stream. My arm needs to go like this. So welcome everybody to Saturday Day Live. So happy to have you with us on Saturday evening, afternoon, depending on where in the world you are. Doesn't matter. We're happy to have you with us here today so we can talk some toys, hang out, chill out. Catch us on the replay. Thank you too. Means a lot to us. Much appreciated. We have a bunch of people already in the chat hanging out. But before we hit the chat, we have some special guests here that are not really even guests. They're really just, members of the SDL crew, and they might show up on any episode. We are very lucky to have them with us here today. In addition to Rygon and myself, you also get Amber Gonzalez in the house.
Yes.
Hi,
so for those of you that entered the Intern for a Day lottery, this is who you're trying to be. This is the level you're trying to get to. Amber, thank you for being here with us.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. You guys are killing it. Obviously, Legions ladies every other Thursday night. I've been really enjoying your shows. I enjoy what you guys bring to the table. I like the personalized interviews, a lot of fun stuff. You guys are killing it, man. Great job.
Thanks. I love it.
And our other special guest here, no one should be surprised, because how can you be surprised at something that's inevitable? Ladies and gentlemen, producer Curtis in the house. What's up, Curtis?
How's it going, everybody? I don't know about being special guest with Amber, though. That kind of, gives her top billing, of course. You could have brought in somebody else so that I could have shined a little bit, but that's all right. I'll take it.
When I'm putting together these shows, I think about stuff like that. I try to, controversy creates cash, right? That's the old maxim, right? So I try to put together some conflict, play on some insecurities, stuff like that. Get the people talking. And I feel like I've done that in this case.
Yeah, I mean, you got a good balance. You bring on a sweetheart like Amber and then an asshole like me, and it balances out.
Your words, not mine.
Yeah, you're even, Steven. So I get it.
Yeah, we're just rotating around you like the sun, my man. All right, let's say hi to the chat, guys, because these people are cool enough to hang out with us. Jacob Forna was way in before 2:00 today.
Yeah, early bird.
Hell yeah. Raylan was in the house. Purple Gang in the house. Our good buddy Dave Orkin, who reached out to me earlier today, little tease here. Dave may have the in with a guest, which may be cool for us in the future. Tease. Stay tuned in the weeks to come. Very special hello to our boy Michael Casper. Michael Casper, happy birthday, my friend. Happy birthday to the man, the myth, the legend, Michael Caspar, Darian Kasperitis. Michael Casper. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Casper and Cookie. It happens to be today, too. Yeah.
Weird.
Oh, yeah.
Weird that they would be the same day, right?
Yep.
There.
Dave Orkin and Michael Casper just talking White Snake. You know how it goes. Van Johnson's in the house. Of course, we have the Purple Gang live stream tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. Code Lavender tonight, or what's going on?
Oh, yeah. Always.
For sure.
I'll be back. I'll be backstage. Speaking
of the Purple Gang, what's up, 1-6 shooter?
Hey,
Trevor Williams.
What's up, dude?
What's up, dude? Dub Cubed. What's up?
What's up,
Legion's ladies in the house. Jordan Wholesome Warlock stopping by to hang out. Andy the Collector. Kevin McCoy, last week's winner of the giveaway, which was the SDCC Super 7 Ultimates bat, and which did get sent out to Kevin.
Good job.
Earlier today. That's the rule that I'm trying to get myself, is that it has to be sent out before the next show.
Mhm.
And I'm
Yeah.
serious about this. It does. I do want to get that out there because, you know, we advertise the giveaways. When the people do their part and show up, they deserve their giveaway. So I want to make sure that they get what's coming to them. And that is on its way to you, Kevin. I sent you the tracking info already. Art G in the house. Art Gutierrez. G is in the house. G is going to Amber
G.
for a day. Congratulations, G.
Congrats, dude.
Darla Ackerman,
Darla.
the darling of the customizing community and specifically the soft goods community these days.
Yes.
Sig
I'll
is in the
never get
house,
tired
one of our
showing it.
faves here. Look at that. Ryan representing pretty much everybody here. He's got the Sir Johnifier head, the Darla Ackerman cape. Now I kind of want to make the same thing or have somebody make it for me and have me buy it because I think that looks awesome. Great job, Rygon.
Jordan
Rob
also
Zamora in the house.
has one.
Who does?
Very great. Jordan, wholesome
Brand.
himself.
Yes, he. You know what? I got to pull that picture at some point too because he made
Yeah.
a very cool one that I really appreciated and thought it was super awesome.
Speaking of looking cool, you check out Offworld last night. You get to see Ryan with Jordan hair, and that was spectacular.
I have.
Yes,
oh my
bro.
god!
Mustaches.
All right, there's a lot more. I didn't realize there was a lot more chat to get to here.
A lot.
I am old. Oh my gosh! Hold up. I forgot to say this. We were talking about this a little bit before we went on here. That the super chats are live,
Super chat.
and our
status.
very first super chat, Curtis
man
Ackerman,
with the deep pockets.
always freaking on time. Curtis, thank you, my friend. Far too generous. Is the 5-minute rule in effect? No, it's not. It is not. Saturday live. It's hosted by Wizards. We show up exactly when we mean to, but thank you, Curtis.
Yeah, 5 minutes has gone by and it hasn't started. Just wait longer.
If you want to, you don't have to. You can check back later. Kevin Boots in the house, also with the super chat. Thank you. And I have to
Awesome,
say
man.
one thing in response to that. Boots. So thank you guys. The first two super chats in SDL history. Ryan,
There he
listen,
is.
I think I'm almost done my letter of resignation. We're on easy street now, buddy.
Hey, I'm just gonna go ahead and throw him up there.
It's like you got tenure, you know?
Boom.
Yes,
What's
you
up,
do.
dude?
Oh, yo,
What is
Late
up, dude?
night.
Yo, what's up, man?
what's going on, dude? I just
up,
literally
Enrique?
just literally walked into the house right now and jumped on. Freaking just did a 150-mile round trip trek to Frank and Sons and down to Santa Monica to drop some furniture off for my brother. And yeah, it's been a morning already, so barely just got home, and I was like, "Damn, hurry up!" And I was trying to fight traffic the whole way. Fuck. I'm
Good
like,
for you,
"Damn,
bro.
they're gonna start
Happy
right
you
now." I'm
made
like,
it, man.
Yeah, totally. How's
And
everybody
check it
doing
out.
today?
Check it out, dude. Our first ever
That's
two
good.
super chats
Yeah.
There we go.
from Curtis.
Oh wow,
Ackerman.
look at us super chatting. Here we go. Jeez Louise. Now we're gonna have to start paying taxes. Great.
So I think we're far from that point, but
You're filing the tax return on this one, buddy. I'm just telling you right now.
we appreciate it, guys. Like,
awesome.
totally not necessary, but cool enough to be here at all. But to send a super chat too, super appreciated.
Absolutely.
Kevin Boots also giving me birthday wishes to Michael Casper.
Happy birthday, Casper, bro. That's awesome.
Everybody excited that Eric LeBron is here.
Yeah,
Steph is in the
I
house.
didn't do a double take because I can see the sun outside, but it feels late night all of a sudden.
Yes, sir.
Uh-oh.
Yes, sir. Here we go.
Yeah. I see what
Hey
you-
Amber, how are you?
I'm swell. How are you?
Doing awesome. Look at you in your own studio.
I
Yeah,
know,
right?
right? Got my own hookup.
listen, that's right. Listen, Ryan, I was
She's
talking-
putting you
I was
out of
talking before,
business, bro.
about us being on
No.
Easy Street. Amber's far beyond us now. Ride this out. This could work out in your favor,
Yeah.
my friend.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So before we get going, we got a lot to talk about tonight, like we usually do. A lot of stuff going on, a lot of discussion about some unsolved mysteries and different things going on. But before we get started proper, Eric, I know you were at Frank and Sons today handling business.
Big
If there's
business.
anything that you saw of note, please let us know. Also, I'd love to hear if anybody had any pickups this week.
Well, the main reason I went down to Frank and Sons, as I've told you before, I'm pretty much getting rid of about 90% of my entire action figure collection. So I have a few friends down there that are big vendors. One in particular is my friend Carlos Pacheco. He took off my hands today. He took all of my Black Series collection. He took all of my Marvel Legends, all of my Origin He-Man, and probably about a good maybe another 50 or 60 other random figures from NECA and all kinds of other brands. So yeah, I took about 4 huge totes worth of figures down there and handed them off to him and pretty much said, hey dude, just price them at what you would price them for and pay me what you figure they're worth to you. Obviously he's going to turn around and resell them because he's a big loose figure reseller down there at Frank and Sons. And so yeah, I said, yeah, just Zell me whenever. And just a trusted friend that I've known for a long time. So I said, do your business, dude. Just give me some cash. And money's not really the main point for me here. Just getting rid of the stuff is. I just don't need it or have any room for it in my life right now. So yeah, it was a big haul to get rid of today. So that's basically, and I spent 5 minutes in there. I went in, took the totes, dropped them off, talked to him for about 5 minutes, and I was on the road down to Santa Monica to my brother's house. So I didn't even go back. I was just like, you just Zell me the money whenever, and that's about it. So didn't even get a chance to walk through Frank and Sons, which is just, like I said, it's hard to do. Like when you walk in Frank and Sons, you're like,
Did your Joy Toys, did they make the cut?
The Joy Toys are still with me. Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Nice.
And the Joy Toys, I only have 5 pieces, so it's not like a huge
Right.
collection. But I have not yet decided where those are going to go because those are still in a tote. But those are going to stay. I like the Joy Toys. The Joy Toys are cool.
So Purple Gang Gang with the $10 super chat. Thank you
$10.
guys.
Wow.
Unnecessary, but thank you. Purple Gang Gang has still never pulled anyone over for. ... See, it sounds like a tease, guys.
Oh,
Oh boy.
You know what? I was actually going to say this too, is that after unloading that much over,
What's
hey,
up, buddy? What's up, buddy?
That's my penny girl. She
Got to
wants
feel
be-
like a
be
breath
in
of fresh
studio
air,
too.
right? To have those totes sort of off your hands.
Boy. Oh yeah, dude. It's like I said. It's sorry. Oh, she got stuck in my microphone, my headphones. Sorry, girl. Yeah, it's dude, it's like a whole new breath of fresh air. I mean, you guys all understand. I mean, the chaos you can get your life into with collecting and the hundreds of figures that you could bring into your collecting life. And the funny thing is, I mean, I've done this once before, and I mean where I completely sold my entire collection, and that was a collection of like when I sold my collection, I think it was like in 2000. I think like 2000, maybe I sold my collection in 2004, and that was like over 2,600 figures that I sold out of that collection. I sold the entire thing, everything. And it was just kind of like wiping your entire slate clean and just starting from fresh. So in a sense, this is kind of what I'm doing, but I'm not going to
Redo it.
I'm not going to buy. I mean, I'm at the point in my life where I've collected, everything under the sun. I mean, from every line that you could possibly imagine throughout the years. And now it's just one of those things where, I've focused my attention on certain, obviously certain IPs and certain brands. And obviously the collecting world has, risen in leaps and bounds as far as like articulation, paint, sculpting, all that stuff. So the stuff that we get now in this day and age, it's hard to compare like what would be the next best thing. I mean, especially when you have something like Hot Toys or Mondo or, SH Figuarts or Mezco, stuff like that. I mean, it's really, there's no comparison in aside from Mythic and Cosmic Legions, as far as paint apps or, sculpting and stuff like that, or accessories, or just the kind of worth your weight in dollars for what you get in a figure. I mean, it's hard to compare anything these days. You know what I mean? So now it's kind of like you could really cherry pick stuff and really get like real high quality stuff where it's not being almost regurgitated every year with a new vamp to it or something. You know what I mean? It's like, so now it's like you could kind of pick and choose, and that's where I'm kind of headed now, going down the line, where I could really be very selective on what I add to my collection. And obviously it's going to be minimal because I don't have I do have the space, but I don't want to kind of bring it into this space. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of just minimalizing my whole world. And I don't know, to me, it's like it's really a great weight off my shoulders because I've been doing it for so long. And it's just now, and I don't know, my life's had this huge change, and now I'm looking more towards doing a lot of traveling and doing my thing and kind of, I don't know, just expressing myself in different ways. It's the same thing with my customizing, you know what I mean? Just kind of figuring out like where I'm going to go from here on forward. Obviously doing more shows and kind of being part of more of the community and involved, and I don't know, just see where it takes me.
Yeah, I mean, for me, experience is definitely the most important thing. And I think for most of us, like, you can only enjoy, even though we love this stuff, like, you can only enjoy so much of it at a time. And most of us probably at some point in our collecting lives have gotten to the point where we're beyond the ability to enjoy everything in our collection, like, sort of on a regular basis.
Yeah.
I recently posted a bunch of stuff for sale. I'll probably sell some more. Sold a little bit. I'm not like wholesale getting rid of a ton of stuff, but there's like a weird thing. Like, if I came down here and then everything was empty and I was like starting from fresh, it would feel a little bit like a breath of fresh air. So my version of that is that 2024 so far has been a much more targeted, streamlined collecting year so far. Like, there was no new purchases in the month of January. So no new pre-orders, no new purchases, no new impulse buys, nothing in January.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
Sure, man. But I've still had stuff coming in. Like, I had my Poxis stuff come in, which was amazing. And it's so, there's still so much here that like I could literally not buy probably for 6 months and be opening stuff regularly and enjoying it. So it's a balance for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I moved into our new house. It's been about 3 years now, maybe 4, probably about 4 now. And before I moved, like, the biggest collection I had was Motu Classics. And when we moved in, they were just in boxes from the move and stuff. And over like the course of a year or so, I never unboxed them. And I didn't feel like I was missing anything. And it was weird because like before that, like that was like my number one collection. And then at some point I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to sell this. And I just took like all the boxes of Motu Classics, and I had a ton, and I just sold them sight unseen to Justice Curry.
Oh, damn. Okay.
I just was like, hey, here's the boxes. Send me whatever you think you want to send for them. And he took care of me. He did me right. And, but yeah, I haven't missed him at all. So it's interesting how these things become so important to you. But then when you get a break from them, and then you're like, man, I'm not missing that. So
yeah. A lot of times too, I mean, and like I've always shared this with other collectors where they've seen pictures of, like, let's say my old toy room that I did, and they're like, oh man, I love the way your room looks and everything's so like nice and put together. And they're like, how do you kind of like figure on how you're going to, display your collections? And I said, well, for me, it's kind of like it can't be everything. You can't collect everything. There's no way you can do it. And in most cases, when you have figures, every toy company has multiples of the same figure. You have to find the one that speaks to you, and you have to find the lines or the IPs or the stories that are part of your either childhood or a memory or something that's part of your heart or whatever that it draws it to. So with me, like, my Black Series collection of Star Wars was all based on episode 4 and 5, which is A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back. So as far as the Black Series figures I had, those were the only figures that I had were from those lines. It's like everything else, like the Turtles. I mean, there's only certain Turtles that I like in my collection. I can't have all of the Nickelodeon, characters, but the ones that I remember from the cartoons or the main characters, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. Or like the X-Men display I had. It was mainly basically the 97 X-Men, team. You know what I mean? So you can have 1,000 figures and really it doesn't tell much about what you're really into other than you're just buying everything. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like it has to be something that really speaks to your heart. Like I've been considering another collection about dumping is like my Transformers collection, but now I've gotten to the point where I'm thinking about just doing a solid like main character
Masterpiece?
run, or no, not masterpiece, but just a main character run of like the G1 stuff, like the the Optimus Prime, the Megatron, the Starscream, stuff like that. And one of my favorites from the thing, and obviously I'm like, well, I guess I'm not getting rid of my Transformers. I went and picked up Snarl the other day because he was one of the newest
Hell yeah.
Dinobots that just got released. I'm like, dude, I gotta have him.
Dude, the studio series, the
studio
the
series
movie
is awesome.
figures,
Yeah,
it's so like, and it's holding value. Like so I'm in the middle of sort of like a redoing the collection, taking everything down and putting it back up.
Mhm.
And it started like in the boiler room. I have these, I'll show these one day, but I'm not right now, where I have these shelves where it has like all my like Legions overstock, like boxes of other like stuff just in there. And I kind of pulled everything out and I was going through stuff, and that's how I picked sort of what to sell. Or what to post. And one of the things, I had the movie Grimlock from 2 years ago or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And the what was the other one? Oh, Coronation Starscream.
Mhm.
And I don't collect a ton of Transformers, but I'm a huge Transformers the movie fan. It's one of my
Oh
favorite movies
yeah.
ever. Over there, I could grab it. I have the movie poster signed by Stan Bush.
Oh yeah.
Adore the movie.
Awesome.
But I never opened them. I've had them for years. I never opened them. And I
Mm.
was like, I would sell these like, how much are they worth? Like $80 total at this point. And I
Mhm.
looked on eBay, like they're like a couple $100 each. Like,
Yeah,
well, I mean,
yeah,
the
they
Grimlock is
climb.
anyway.
They climb,
Um,
dude. Sometimes it's weird.
It's a good
Yeah.
series. It's a good
Yeah.
series.
Yeah, my
Um,
thing was, and like Transformers. I mean, Transformers. There's like 100 different, types or series of Transformers. Me, I stuck to like the '86 series, Earthrise, Siege, more in line with the G1 series Transformers. You know what I mean? So going based on my love for the cartoon as a kid, and it's weird because I never collected or had Transformers as a kid. Only as an adult did I ever finally, start collecting Transformers. And that was obviously because of another friend or friends throughout the communities that were huge Transformers fans that kind of constantly were just tapping me on the shoulder, like, hey, dude, when are you going to get into Transformers? You know what I mean? So, but
So Rob Zamora says, Eric, moving forward, don't collect Hasbro stuff. Just kidding, or am I? Which is funny because the package that I got today, which is like I said, the first random package, or like semi-random, like not like a line that I'm collecting a lot. 2 Marvel Legends,
oh, okay. Yeah.
Hallows Eve, and Jack-O-Lantern.
Yeah.
So, which I'm pretty excited about. They will go on the Halloween display next year.
Nice.
One thing that I think would be a cool topic for a future show, and we can even talk about it now, is these 2 figures, reminded me sort of something. I think it was the Euro Legions guys on one of their last episodes. A question that sort of came up that they answered on their podcast was, do you have like collecting rules? Like, are there things that like rules that you have in place to sort of guide you collecting so you're not getting everything? Like, I only collect a certain scale. I only collect this kind of figure. I only do this, which is a cool topic in and of itself. We can talk about that if you want to. But what reminded me was, or what it made me think of was, how about a collecting Achilles heel, let's call it, like something there, a certain kind of figure, a certain something that's very specific that you have a soft spot for, that like if something comes out and it's this, I'm at least thinking about it. Like, like Dan Larson is famous for liking translucent figures, which I also sort of like.
Yeah.
And for me, that one of those things anyway, because I probably have a lot of them, is holiday themed figures. So, or a figure that could fit in a holiday display. Like I see like a figure that has something to do with Halloween, and I'm like, oh man,
Gotta have it. Yeah.
I kind of want
I feel
that.
you. I feel you. Yeah. Mine is I'd say mine is Wolverine. Anytime they make a Wolverine figure, man, I'd have to have it. It just
There's a lot of Wolverine
Wo-
figures.
Wolverine's my favorite character of all time, and I've always, I mean, yeah. So, and I'm starting to a little bit get away from it, but for the longest time, anytime a new Marvel Legends or something came out, Wolverine, I had to buy it. It just didn't matter what it was. It was just, if it was Wolverine, it's done.
I
It's a
can't
done
even
deal for me.
imagine the number of Wolverines that you've had during your collecting life.
Oh, dude, ridiculous amounts. Like
Okay.
right now, I'm down to maybe like 10 of them. So it's
On
and
the
they're all
spot right now, Eric LeBron, answer the question.
done. Sir.
What is your number one Wolverine action figure of all time? First thing that
Oh,
pops in
the
your head.
Ronin Wolverine from Mezco.
You
It's a
actually
good
mentioned
figure.
that before, actually.
Yeah, totally all-time favorite Wolverine figure of all time because it goes back to the samurai age, and it's like, dude, yes, perfection. I love that. I love that Wolverine.
My best Wolverine of all time is also a Mezco, but it's a different one. It was the one that came out 2 years ago, the one with like 75,000 heads.
The blue
Is that
and
the one
yellow
with the
suit.
Sentinel?
Yeah, with
Yeah,
the Sentinel
yeah,
piece.
the one with the
yeah,
Sentinel piece,
yeah,
yeah.
that one's great
Gotcha.
too.
Woo!
That's
So
a close
good.
second for sure. So good, so good.
What about you, Curtis? Do you have a favorite Wolverine figure?
I think for me it's the Mafex, the brown suit.
Mhm.
I think that's the one for me. And it's way too expensive for me right now because by the time I found out about it, it was already sold out. So I think
Yeah.
they've been doing some of their figures where they do a rerun of them.
Mm.
So yeah, if I see that on Big Bad Toy Store for like $95, I'll definitely pick it up. But at 300, I can't do that.
That's a pass for sure. Yeah. Screw that.
Amber Ryan, any favorite Wolverine figures?
I do not. I'm a DC fanboy. I do appreciate a good Wolverine figure, but
All right, Ryan, on the spot. What's your favorite Batman figure of all time? Go.
does it have to be Batman or
It
Batman?
has to be
family?
Batman. No, Batman.
Actually, Batman. Yeah.
Oh wow,
Until
Rob
you get
said
out
of
that Wolverine I was talking about is getting reissued in June. I'll be
Oh,
all over
nice.
that.
Nice.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Heck yeah.
Heck
So-
yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I didn't get it yet, and I have a feeling it's going to be the Hot Toys '89 Batman.
We're getting our last payment. We're
It's
putting in our
gonna
last
be the
payment,
Hot
dude.
Toys Batman, but
Yeah,
Our last payment's getting drawn, dude. It's gonna be on. I can't wait for you guys to
Uh,
get that thing. It's gonna
oh
be
my
so
God,
good.
I don't know what I was.
and the Batmobile sold out, so I dodged a bullet.
Ah, nice.
We didn't get the Batmobile.
Oh,
You're in trouble now.
trouble.
You're in trouble now, my friend.
What the heck?
You think you know
Well,
somebody?
Ryan, thanks for joining us.
Mhm.
You think you know somebody?
She did tell you to get it.
Exactly.
That's
I
true.
did. I did say we should get it.
Oh,
But that's a good
right.
question, though. But before the Hot Toys Batman, I don't want to leave this just yet because I think it's a really, really tough call. Best Batman figure of all time. I'll buy you some time. Immediately, I'm thinking of Kenner Superpowers vintage blue and gray Superman. For me,
Mm.
he's right there. Also, vintage Kenner Batman, the movie Batman,
Mhm.
the black suit one. That's right there. And then
I'm a
Probably-
huge fan of the Nightfall Batman. That gray and blue
Mezco.
suit one. Oh man, that's
Yeah.
a good figure, dude.
the
For a
PX
DC figure,
exclusive.
or a McFarlane DC figure, that's a freaking fantastic figure.
Oh, is it the one with the big blue cape?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, the Nightfall one, the
Yes.
newest one that they just came out with. Oh, it's
Isn't
such
that
a good
basically like a
figure.
statue? I mean, not that I would care. I would have it sitting there and it'd be awesome. But
No, it's a posable figure. It's fully
Oh, the
posable.
Mafex
but-
one.
Oh, is that the Mafex right there?
Mafex
Yeah.
Hush Batman.
Oh yeah, the Hush Batman. I have the blue and gray one. That one's freaking so good. The Hush Batman's so good. That's one of my
It's-
favorites too.
I
It's
have
like-
to make that Hush Batman.
Yeah.
It's like
really good.
this came out of a Jim Lee dream or something. Like
Mhm.
he fell asleep, had a dream, and then this figure just appeared.
Yeah, that's
I
tell you what, though, the Mezco,
phenomenal.
I've
figure.
got the Mezco, and I know they made a billion different ones, but the Mezco, I've got the PX exclusive, right? Supreme Knight, I think it is,
Hmm.
and the different variations of that. They're really good, man. They're really, really cool.
Yeah.
All right. What about any other pickups before we hit announcements?
No, that was
Curtis.
that
Curtis
was it
says
for
yes.
me.
What you got,
What do
Curtis?
you got, Curtis?
I got a couple Joes first. So I got retro card
nice.
Scarlet in.
Here, I'm digging you.
Okay,
Hold on.
nice.
She looks really good. I got a couple different ponytails and can
Nice.
store her loadout and stuff. So she looks cool. I got the Duke in, also retro card. He
Nice.
looks really
Cool.
good. And then I warned Hedgehog and Ryan before the show started. I've got the best
did,
toy
you
that
did.
you guys are going to ever have on the show. So I'm
Mhm.
sorry for any other future toys,
I believe it when I see it, but okay.
but I got the Todd McFarlane figure.
Oh,
oh
my God.
It doesn't get better than this guy right here.
Dude, I wish I got it.
damn it.
That's awesome.
That's funny, dude.
You got to have a Todd McFarlane figure.
So does that come with anything signed
No, there was a autograph one but
version?
I didn't get it. It was a little bit more expensive. But he's
Did
got
you
a
get the-
microphone. He's got a little sketchbook. He's got bare feet for some reason. So
Yes, I know that was a topic of discussion.
yeah,
That's
Todd
hilarious.
McFarlane's feet. Did you get the Kickstarter Spawn, Curtis?
no, I'm not a real big Spawn guy. And the only reason I got this was for the McFarlane. I'll if I open it, I'll sell or give away the Spawn because I don't really care. I just like, and you could, people joke about McFarlane, but he is, he's a
Icon.
big name in our industry. He's an icon in the toy industry, and to have a figure of him in my collection is just something that I couldn't pass up on. So
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I think that's awesome. I would
cool.
definitely.
I mean, if they made like a treadaway figure today, like I would have to
Wow,
get
yeah,
it.
for
You know what I'm
sure.
saying? Like it's just there's certain people in the industry that if they made a figure of them, I gotta get that. I got the Stan Lee one that they
What about
did
Jack
for
Kirby?
Masters, and yeah,
Yeah. Hey, I have a corn boy figure.
there you go.
Oh, you have the Chaos
Yep,
Corn Boy?
Yep. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Carded. Yeah, I have him carded. Yeah.
What about
And the only other non character action figure that I have a Hot Toys Stan Lee. I have the original one.
sick?
Yeah, that's a grail right there that I have in my collection. Has to be.
Anybody getting that NECA Jack Kirby?
I've
didn't
seen a
even
couple
see
friends
that.
get that. Yeah, a lot of guys, huge TMNT and DC guys that are.
Is Steph
grabbing
talking
these
about Todd
guys.
McFarlane?
Yeah,
I think so.
I just like the way that he says figures. You got a new figure coming your way.
Confirmed. Jesse loves Jokerized. Anything Jokerized,
Oh yeah,
Jesse's in favor of 100%. He's
Yeah.
also a big fan of clapping at the end of movies
Mhm.
and clapping when the plane lands. So if you're ever in a movie with Jesse or on a flight with him, make sure you do those things. Talk about Jokerized stuff, and then do the clapping.
He's
thing.
also a big fan of people that sneak candy into theaters rather
Nice.
than buying them at the counter.
Oh, that's me all the way, dude. All the way.
Same.
Yup.
And by that I
ain't
mean
paying
he
no,
hates
I ain't no concession fan. Fuck that.
So,
I'm not paying $15 for a bag of fucking M&Ms.
that's what I
Fuck
said,
that.
man. If they want me to
Sweet.
buy from them, make it reasonably priced. That's all I ask.
Exactly, dude.
So,
Dorklayer says he's on the hunt for the Kirby figure. So if anybody has a lead on one, let our man know. Let the Godfather know about that Kirby figure. I think he's gettable.
Oh,
I
he's
don't
totally
think-
gettable. My buddy does toy hunt videos all throughout the city here, and I see that damn figure in his video all the time. He passes up that figure
Sorry,
countless times.
and Jesse apparently loves mayo too. So I actually did get. I had
Yes.
the Dave Filoni figure that they put out. And it's cool. It's really cool. It's actually even in a really cool box. I had it for a while, but that was another one of those things where like I never took it out of the package. And after I had it for a while, I'm like, do I need this anymore? So I actually ended up trading it to Len, and I forget even what for.
Hmm.
Trapper Wolf, that's his name, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, where am I? Trevor also wants that Kirby. Well, maybe it'll be harder to get than I thought. I thought it was kind of available.
Maybe in certain states, man. California's got an abundance of them for some reason or another.
I tell you what, people joke, but that McFarlane sold out quick, and
Oh,
it
yeah.
was, like almost immediately on eBay for 2 or 3 times the amount. So
Of course.
yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Trevor, I'll trade you that Kirby figure for that Princess Leia from A New Hope. Your Hot Toys one. That's a freaking grail that I need to get still. Damn it. Just not willing to pay the price for her. So how's that your setup's looking pretty stealthy there, Curtis? How's all the setup? Looks like you're pretty much done in there.
Yeah, with the DTOS behind me, I'm done. I cleaned it up. I did a lot of like kind of, I don't know, like throne room and that kind of thing displays at the very top, and then I did some other, down further below with just kind of figures in there. But I did clean it up to where like anything that was at least not mythic adjacent. There's some stuff in there not mythic, but there's nothing that, like, I had Batman on top. I had, stuff mixed in throughout the DTOS. All that stuff is cleaned up and they got their own space now. So this whole section behind me is now, all mythics. And then the section on the side here is cosmic. So
nice. Very nice.
Got that cleaned up. And then I got a new section over there for everything else, the Mondos and Mafex and all that kind of stuff.
Looks good, man. It's looking real good. Looks clean, bro.
Thanks.
It's real clean.
Yeah, the last thing I got to do is put my G.I. Joes up, which I think they're going to end up going in the garage. I got a curio cabinet in the garage that they're going to go to. And then once I get that done, then I'll do a little video tour of my room and put it online.
Nice.
So.
Nice. That's a breath of fresh air, just getting to start from scratch and just kind of relook at your whole thing and go piece by piece and figure out how to instead of, after you've had them up for so long, to take everything down and clean everything out. And that's always nice, man.
It was fun. Yeah.
It's time consuming, but it's fun. It's
yeah.
You kind of almost get to re-enjoy your collection again. You know what I mean?
I got these dry brushes that I bought years ago. They're Martha Stewart dry brushes, and they're like super fancy. And so I've never used them because I'm like, I mean, you tear up dry brushes pretty quick. Yeah. So I actually use them for dusting my figures. So like when I pull stuff out of the display, I'm holding the figure and I'm doing like this, the little duster, and it works out really well.
It's awesome. Ish, what up, Meng?
What up, Ish?
What's up, Ish?
Hell yeah.
All right, let's get started with some announcements and whatnot.
Sure.
So of course later on we have to talk about the mystery boxes. And I couldn't pass the opportunity to have my man Bobby Stacks in the slideshow here from Unsolved Mysteries, one of the most important television shows of my lifetime. Anybody out there that's a fan of the Purple Stuff podcast? That's the podcast with Dinosaur Dracula and Jay from Sludge Central, where they talk about all kinds of random nerdy stuff, especially stuff from like the 80s and back then. They have an episode of their podcast, Purple Stuff Podcast, about Unsolved Mysteries. It's hysterical. It's fantastic.
Funny.
All right, so a few announcements to get us started. First of all, there's some upcoming toy shows. Next Sunday, right? Sunday, April 28th, 2024, the venerable Chicago Toy Show, the Kane County Toy Show, the one everybody knows from Pixel Dan videos and some other things, is the 28th, and there will be a Four Horsemen Legion's presence. Nice. I believe it is a street team event where Travis is going to be heading up the street team. And I think Steve Busciotti is going to have some custom work there. So anybody that was planning on or considering going to the Chicago Toy Show, it is on April 28th. And it sounds like it's going to be a blast. That is definitely, as far as like toy shows on the list that I would travel to go to, Kane County is definitely one that I would go to.
It's supposed to be one of the biggest, like ridiculous size.
Yeah, I definitely want to do a trip to Chicago one of these years and go check that out. But I'd like to have a
Outstanding.
couple extra days to check out the city as well. Maybe
sure.
hang out with the Liras and have them give me a little tour of the city. You know what I'm saying? Some good eats and some good bars and whatnot. some
Chicago's
good
a great.
places.
I've been to Chicago a few times.
Yeah,
It's
I've
been a
been
while.
once.
It's been a while. It's a
Yeah.
great city, man. It's a really great city. It's a fun city.
I went out there once years and years and years ago just for like a weekend just to fuck around. But yeah, I definitely like to get back. That'd be cool. And that'd be a cool toy show to get to, the King County one for sure.
And the fact they have a Legion's presence now, like an official Legion's presence, makes it even better.
Mhm.
Certainly, it'll mean that there'll probably be some more Cabal members, stuff like that.
Mm.
Another big toy show coming up, or another cool toy show coming up, May the 4th in Pennsylvania, Easton, Pennsylvania, about 30 minutes from where I'm sitting right now. It's going to be the Lehigh Valley Toy Show. So I heard this is a really cool show. It's another one sort of like RetroCon where they have personalities coming. Like, I know if you're into wrestling, Ron Simmons is going to be there. But importantly for this show, Wolf King Customs will be there. It is a street team event. Len LaGuardia is in charge of the street team for Legions, for Four Horsemen Studios,
Mhm.
at the Lehigh Valley Toy Show on May the 4th. Jesse's going to be manning the Wolf King table, the flannel ninja himself. So if you're anywhere in the, that's right, Jordan, Richard Simmons. Richard Simmons? No, Ron Simmons. Richard Simmons is not confirmed. Card subject to change. But yeah, so I'll be there. I'm going to be hanging out at the Lehigh Valley Toy Show all
Very
day
cool.
on May the 4th. So if you're in the Northeast, come by. Ryan and Amber, they're going to be there, right?
I'm sure they will
Yes,
be
sir.
there, right, guys? Yeah, I'm sure you guys would be there.
And Ryan and I may be doing a little transaction that day, I hear.
Mm.
Yeah, man.
It's awesome.
I'm down if you are.
Very cool.
But yeah, so I'll be live streaming that day or whatever. Lehigh Valley Toy Show. We'll be talking about it a lot over the next couple of weeks because I will be there. Let me see here. Did this work? Yes, it worked. Also, same weekend, May 4th and 5th, new news coming out. There's going to be a second Mythic meetup in California on the West Coast. Eric LeBron was a pillar of the one last year, the first one that they had in California. So now there's going to be a second one this year, Saturday, May 4th, Sunday, May 5th, Sacramento. So I don't know, Eric, are you able to go to this one? I know you probably you're just coming back into the whole
Yeah,
flow of stuff now.
no, it's definitely not in the books for me. I mean,
Yeah.
I would have loved to make the trip back up there, but
Yeah.
it's just not in the cards for me. That not this quickly. No.
But-
But yeah, I'm sure they're gonna have a good time. It was a good turnout for us last year. A lot of good friends, a lot of good people. It was a really good weekend, and it kind of went by way too fast.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully good luck to those guys out there, and hope they all have a great time. It's going to be a good meetup out there. It's good for the West Coast people, you know what I mean? Because we don't get enough Mythic stuff out here, and that's kind of why me and Walter discussed it, the year prior at the tail end, the Sunday night after Legions Con, and we said, "Hey, dude, let's get together and figure out something to do." And that's how the first one came about, was me and him talking at Legions Con, and just thought, all right. And he says, "Well, I got some people I could talk to out here, in the Sacramento area, and maybe find a place where we can do a show and do like one of those street team events and bring some Mythics out here to the West Coast for fans out here that want to check it out, that can't make it all the way Midwest or to the East Coast." So that's why we did it, man. And we wanted to do one this year down here where I am, but like I said, things kind of got in the way as far as, life events that kind of went down with me. So I kind of had to put it off to the side, but I'm glad that they're doing one, man. I'm really happy for them that they're getting one done.
Yeah, and just like you say, it's cool for the West Coast fans to have something closer to them, sort of like an option.
Oh, absolutely.
Sorry. Sorry. My allergies have kicked in officially. So even though I'm in my basement, I felt the sneeze coming on a couple of times. Didn't quite hit all the way. I think everybody knows what that feels like. Thoughts and prayers, please.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Worst feeling.
So yeah, Mythic Meetup, May 4th and May 5th. I'm sure there will be more posts in the Cabal. Check the featured posts for some more details. So last week, Brick something and Jason from AWOC were on the stream talking to us about the AWOC Kickstarter. That wrapped up a huge success. They funded several times over. I only bring that up because if you did back the Kickstarter, presumably I think the backer kit emails will be coming out relatively shortly, so you can manage your pledge, change things, add things. I don't know how much you can change, but you can add stuff for sure. And I think you can still order some of these guys like on Big Bad Toy Store and stuff like that. So even though the Kickstarter is now over, it's not your last chance to sort of get some figures. So I only have one AWOC figure so far, and that's this guy. I did go in
You
on the
need more.
Kickstarter. So what's that?
I said you need more.
Right.
I also have right over there, I have a certain set of glow-in-the-dark AWOC weapons that someone was nice enough to hook me up with. Thank you, Ryan.
Nice.
Oh, you're
Dude,
welcome.
those two new ogre scale or troll scale figures are freaking sick looking.
Yeah,
That
they're ogre scale,
elephant,
yeah.
that elephant and that rhino. Oh my god, those look so freaking bomb.
Yeah, and I think the deal with that is, and again, if I'm not speaking for AWOC, so if I get any details wrong, it's just a mistake on my part, not theirs. So I do not believe that the Kickstarter made it all the way to the elephant and rhino guys, but I also understand that the monetary amounts that are added in the backer kit process. So in the process, once the Kickstarter closes, people that back the Kickstarter through this thing backer kit can add to their pledge, do different things. I think those amounts that are added will continue to be counted towards the minimum pledge total that would unlock these guys. I think that's
Dude,
right.
They have to make those things, dude. Those are
Yeah.
freaking way too cool. They look
think
way too cool not to
I'm
make
gonna
them.
need an elephant guy. I'm gonna need that
Yeah.
elephant
Oh
guy.
yeah, come on.
I mean, dude, those are
That's a
both
no-brainer.
those are both seriously mythic adjacent right there, dude. You can easily pop those in with mythics. I mean, maybe you could do like a repaint on them, some dry
Mhm.
brushing and whatnot on the armor, but yeah,
Mhm.
those will so work in well with mythics. We need bigger animal characters like that in mythics.
Like the new brawler scale figures are dope as well, and
Mm.
the repaint, like I forget who did it, but the Thane repaint, it works perfectly with Mythic Legions after that.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
given a
Where
little
where
dry brush. I forget
they
who did it.
they did it in black and dry brush that like white fur on him. You know what
Yeah,
you're talking about? Yeah, that looks
Yeah.
super good, man. Super good.
Yeah. So people are talking about Boots wants the hippo.
Mm-hmm.
Ish says he's in for the bunnies. I'm definitely in for what was it again? So Gresh, which is the chameleon guy,
Mm.
the
Yeah.
lizard infantry trooper, which is like an orange reptile with like blue armor, and then the rabbit Kanji, because he's going to go in the Easter display, and the
Easters.
glow in the dark translucent pale figure also.
Mm.
So that's
Nice.
like at a minimum, I need those. And if I can get the elephant guy, definitely gonna get the elephant guy.
Yeah.
Amber, what's your favorite?
I like the blue one.
Yeah,
don't
those
know.
go
Like
good.
a lizard or like
Yeah.
the lizard
Yeah,
one?
yeah, like the lizard one.
Yeah, it looks pretty dope.
Corvius, something like that. His name is like Corvius or something like that. Yeah, and they've got birds. Yeah, so check it out. If you're still interested, I imagine you'll be able to get a lot of these guys at retail later. It'll be a little bit more expensive, but they did a tour of like a million different shows and everything promoting it. So there's a bunch of stuff around. We had them last week, so
Yeah, that was I was watching that. Sorry, I was out doing my thing.
all good, man.
Or actually I was in Vegas. I don't know why I'm making excuses. You know where I was.
yeah. Do you want to
But-
tell us a little bit about? Take a second or two and just tell us about that real quick, because it was a cool. You don't have to, but I thought it was a
it's
really
all good.
cool thing.
Yeah. Well, like I said, after going through my whole ordeal, if you will, I thought it was time to take a little R&R and jumped on a plane with me and my kid, and we flew out to Las Vegas last weekend, and we went to go see Social Distortion and Bad Religion in concert. And while we were there, we just ran amok all throughout Vegas and had a great time. We did some racing at the K1 indoor go-kart track and spent like 5 hours at this new location called Area 15, which is like an immersive art experience that you kind of like walk into. I mean, it's just a world of like crazy art and activities and immersive rooms that you're in, and it's just insane. We spent a bunch of time in there, and yeah, just had a great ass time in Vegas. And got into we were on general admission floor on the concert floor, and made our way up to the stage about 10 feet from the stage and right into the pit. And yeah, I'm a 50-year-old man, and I'm still down to run amok in the pit as the band's freaking flying. And yeah, I'm down. So I had a great ass time.
That's freaking awesome.
Cool little
Nice.
story. Cool little story. The Saturday morning when we went downstairs to have breakfast in our hotel, we had, obviously they have little restaurants within the hotels or whatnot in the casinos. And we walked into this little breakfast place, and the hostess walked us over and, hey, is this table okay? Yeah, that's fine. And we sat down at this table, and sitting right next to me is Chuck Liddell from the UFC. I'm like, dude, I'm like, what's up, Chuck? Like, what's happening, bro? Yeah. And I told my kid, I'm like, dude, that's fucking Chuck Liddell. And my kid's like, who's that? I'm like, oh,
What?
yeah, he has no idea. I'm like, dude, you have no idea, dude. I'm like, that's like the freaking one of the greatest freaking UFC fighters of all time, dude. I said, that dude's freaking, yeah, it was pretty cool. So cool celebrity sighting. I mean, I didn't make a big deal of it. Just hello, how are you? Good morning. You know what I mean? I don't, hey, take my picture. You know what I mean? I'm not that guy. I don't.
I am.
Yeah, sign my napkin or something. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm that guy.
Yeah, no, I don't do that, but it was pretty cool. But we had a great ass time, dude. Just really cool to just get away with me and my boy and just have a great time, man. We always
shout out to Steph, who says to you, Eric, you're an awesome daddy. That sounds like fun. So cool. 100%, man.
Yeah, that's my ride or die, man. Me and my kid, man. We rock all over the place, and we just have a great time every time we go somewhere. It's so cool. Super, super cool.
All right. So as we move along, I wanted to shout out the Mythic Enablers, one of the newer shows, things that you can sort of check out that is sort of focused on Mythic, Four Horsemen Studios, that kind of stuff. This is a podcast, so an audio podcast, much like Euro Legions, which I love. I love having the different versions, different formats of shows that are sort of in our community, because there's so many of them now. And listen, if you want to do a show, do it. Go ahead. Don't worry about it. But there's a billion of them now. So it's cool that there's different formats where you have a lot of live streams, there's videos, and then there's just straight podcasts that just have like a little bit of a different feel. And again, the Mythic Enablers, it's a big group of Intern for a Day 2021 alumni, Ryan and Amber. And I'm going to forget, if I forget anybody, guys, help me out here. But Eric Miller, Joe Russo, Wyatt Kohler, Michael Xavier, X-Man, and Noah Pratt. I think that's all 5.
Yep.
Yes.
Nice.
5 guys, and they're like multiple episodes in right now. It's a bi-weekly podcast. The latest episode just dropped of the Mythic Enablers podcast. And they just talk about like legions and legions related sort of figures, issues, collecting things. And it's a very cool dynamic. You can sort of tell right away that these dudes are all friends and have been for a long time. I think a lot on the Cabal, one of them will post something about like something cool that the other one did. And they talk about like this chat that they've had with each other for a long time. So it's a very cool mix of people talking about some cool stuff in a cool way. So I urge you to check out the Mythic Enablers podcast, wherever you get your podcasts, Mythic Enablers. Guys, have you guys checked this podcast out yet?
I have not been able to listen to an episode yet. I've been wanting to, but I'm sorry that I haven't yet. I just, like I said, too many things going on right now.
Yeah. It's
but it's big props to their freaking logo, man. That logo's
tight, right?
Yeah, that's a good logo, bro. That's whoever came up with that, freaking spot on. It's so good.
And if you are interested at all, hold up. Sorry, I'll go back a second. they're going to be on. So they came out with their podcast. These guys came out with a really great podcast. You know, I reached out to Noah to see if we could do a combo live. So we're trying to hook that up at some point. It's tough because there's 5 of them. Curtis, I know you were have been working on the same thing, but apparently they will be on. The Mythic Enablers will be on Legion's Lounge with Trevor and Bill and Nate on Monday night. And I think they're doing 8:30 now. I think they moved earlier and they're doing 8:30. I don't know if Bill's still in the chat, but check it out. I'm sure there's also a featured post in the Cabal too. Check it out. The Mythic Enablers will be on Legion's Lounge on Monday night, so you can learn more about these guys and their podcast. Should be a really great show. Jordan says Offworld has way more people on screen at a time. I think that's true, probably. But I mean, listen, Curtis can't be in charge of every show, right?
Well, I mean, have we tried?
Have
Have we tried to put me in charge of every show? I'm just saying, let's not knock it till we try it. So.
You can only have top line talent on so many shows.
Don't give Curtis a challenge, bro.
Exactly.
But check it out. I just wanted to give those guys a shout out because I like all those guys a lot.
8
like
p.m.
their
Eastern.
podcast.
Jonathan.
8 p.m. Thank you, Curtis.
Yep.
Thank you, Curtis. 8 p.m. confirmed by Trevor right here. So Monday night, I'll be in the chat. Check it out. Mythic Enablers with Trevor and Bill and Nate. 8 p.m. on Trevor's YouTube channel, 1-6 Shooter. If you don't know, go subscribe to that right now.
And I would just say for anybody that's watching that Monday, if you have what you feel like is a good question and Trevor doesn't read it, join us the following Sunday on Shooting the Shelf because we'll also have the Mythic Enablers and we will definitely read your question. Just so you know.
There you go. All right. Thank you, Curtis.
Yeah.
Shots fired.
So
Well, I don't know that they're going to leave us much to talk about, so I gotta try to put the audience to work.
Yeah, that's all right. Listen, with that many guys, there'll be something there. Plus, you can put your own spin on it. And we'll plug it too on our live next week. Returning to a special time, 3 p.m. Eastern, next Saturday, April 27th. Saturday Day Live and the Euro Legions guys together going live next weekend. So excited. We've been talking to those dudes for a long time about doing something together, just hopping on together and talking toys and hanging out. John Caulfield, Mal is going to be on with us, Malcolm Kennedy. I don't think Rich can actually make it. I think he has a conflict, but we wanted to go ahead and do it. I'm sure if Rich can't make it, if they want to do it again sometime, we would love to have Rich on too. But the SDL crew, John Caulfield, Mal from the Euro Legions podcast together next Saturday. Nice. It's going to be a fun time, 3 p.m. Eastern. So hit that notification bell and you'll know that we're going live.
Make sure we have something for Mal to read for us.
Yeah, right.
1 billion%, dude.
Yeah, make sure it's something cool for Mal to read, please.
Yeah.
Love Mal's voice, dude.
I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. It's going to sound cool. You could give them instructions to, whatever, air fryer, and it's going to sound awesome.
Yeah, I've got kind of an idea here, but it's going to involve me doing something. So we'll see. All right. So those are the announcements. Guys, did I forget anything? Curtis, did you want to say anything about Purple Gang Gang tonight or Shooting the Shelf tomorrow?
Yeah, Purple Gang Gang tonight. They've got Jason on talk about AWOC. Now that their whole campaign for the Kickstarter thing is kind of over and it's all said and done. Hopefully he'll be able to just kind of kick back and relax and have some fun with those guys tonight. I will be backstage. Only call code Lavender if you truly need one. And then tomorrow we're actually going live at an earlier time. I've got a work thing that's like a once in a forever thing where I actually have to work like on a Sunday night. So we're going live 1 p.m. Eastern tomorrow for Shooting the Shelf, and we're being invaded by the Swedes. We got Neil with us.
Nice.
So
very cool.
It's awesome, man.
Yeah,
very cool.
Yeah, Legions ladies. He's calling. Can you call code? I thought it's like shotgun. You had to wait till you're outside to call it.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what
I haven't looked at the rules.
Tanya
Oh,
hopped
yeah.
in too. So the Legions ladies, huge get for this Thursday at 8 p.m. on the Legions ladies YouTube channel. That's Amber and Tanya and their crew on Legions ladies. They've been killing it. First of all, go to Legions ladies. If you're not subscribed already, subscribe, hit the notification bell. The show's awesome. Every other Thursday at 8 o'clock. And this Thursday, they've got customizing legend in the community, Nikki Nicole Cheney, live for
the
Legions
queen,
ladies.
bro. The
Awesome.
queen.
So
Yeah.
that's a
Yup.
huge one, Amber. You got to be
Oh,
excited
man.
about that, right?
I'm pumped. It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah. One of the most storied artists in our community. That will be cool. And coming to the stage, Big Greg. What's up,
What up,
dude?
dude?
You're
What up? Hey, Mom.
What up, boy?
What's up, ladies and gentlemen?
Thanks.
Not much. Just driving over here. Witnessed a hit and run accident.
That sucks, man.
Oops.
Yeah. It was right in front of me too. I feel so bad, but I had to make it home. I had an emergency.
Well, thank
What's
you for
going
coming on,
on?
man. I know that you had a listen, man. I hope you made some money today.
I sold 2 cars, so it was
Good for
it was
you,
not,
brother.
not a bad
There
day.
you go.
Not a
Not
bad
a
day.
bad day at all. Yep.
I not
all
hold
good.
my phone. Come on. There we go. Wait. Trying to work. There we go.
Nice. So what's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. Working hard. Playing with. Now I'm home. Play with some toys and enjoy this 420 holiday.
There you go.
Yeah, saw you on Wednesday. George and Chris are in China.
Yes, they are.
So Diego had a takeover of the Fourish Horsemen O'Clock show, and you made a cameo.
Quick little cameo. While I
So,
was working, packing them orders up, getting them ready for the mystery boxes.
So blink twice if there are more than 4 Morguliths.
Right.
I couldn't see that. I was too fuzzy. It was too fuzzy. No, but yeah, we're gonna get to that in a few minutes. The mythic mysteries of Mythos grab bag / mystery box. That's going to be Monday, 11 a.m. It goes live. We'll talk about that in a couple of minutes. First, I wanted to touch on a little bit about the Pop and Swap Stars contest that the Legions Lounge is throwing yet again. Trevor and Bill and Nate in charge of that. There are a bunch of really great prizes being sponsored by, I think Purple Gang Gang is sponsoring a category, Wolf King Customs, a bunch of others. And again, the idea behind this contest, if you're not familiar with it, is you make your own LBC, a pop and swap character, and you can use up to 3 different figures. This year, they did away with the requirement that you use a Legion builder. It's a little bit more open. Any 3 figures you want, you can use any soft goods or anything like that from those figures, and you are allowed to use like weapon sets, hand sets, accessory sets, stuff like that. So
Nice.
very cool. It is almost over. It ends April 26th. There is a featured post in the Cabal. So if you're in the Cabal, you have to be in the Cabal to enter, because that's how you enter the contest. You do your pop and swap, take a couple pictures of it that are clear that they can see the creation, post that on the Cabal with that hashtag pop and swap stars, and also include hashtags for the specific categories you want to enter. But again, there is a featured post in the Cabal. Click on featured in the Mythic Legions Cabal, and that has all of the rules, everything like that. But I wanted to touch on this because there's been some really cool stuff posted so far, some really great entries, and it's almost over. So first of all, before I started pulling some up, have any of you guys entered this year in the contest? I have not.
No.
No.
Is anybody planning to?
I'm not.
I refuse to answer under the grounds that I may incriminate myself.
Well, I was going to ask you because I was like, Wolf King is a sponsor, so I don't know how that affects, if you would still enter. I don't know what your involvement is. It's a possibility, like maybe you've been tabbed to be a judge. I haven't been told that, but it sounds like there's something going on that we need to extract from you on tonight's live stream.
I will not be submitting an entry. I'll just leave it at that.
Interesting.
But it is a fun contest, and I encourage anybody to participate that is able to.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I love watching the pop and swaps, because for me as a customizer, it gives me some great ideas for some bases to start customs with. I say, oh, I love that combo, and obviously like for a repaint or whatever, but just the combo of the parts and stuff, I look at stuff and go, oh man, that looks fantastic, and just, sometimes your mind goes blank after doing so many, hundreds of customs. You go, well, what other parts can I use, or how can I put these together? And then this pop and swap thing comes up and you're just like, oh my God, look at that. Look at this. And, it's like so many great ideas. Love seeing what other people think.
Looking at some of the entries so far this year has really, made me think about the depth of the lines at this point, especially with Poxus coming out, the different, the accessories, the magic effects, the soft goods, like some of these, and you'll see, I actually pulled a couple. Some of the pop and swaps that people have entered look like full custom figures. And I think that speaks to both the creativity of that person, but also the depth of the stuff you have to work with.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I know it'll come after the contest is over, most likely, but I did see somebody mention that with the whole mystery box thing, you could actually do that as a challenge to yourself, to whatever two figures you get, to try to pop and swap something between those two figures and see what you come up with, which I think is kind of a neat little challenge.
Yeah, I heard you mention that the other night. I was like, that's a really cool idea for, like, whatever you get, take those two figures and make something cool out of it.
Yeah.
So first I wanted to pull up, this guy caught my eye, from Dennis Dukakis. This is a Duke Nukem tribute up and swap that he did. And obviously we've got a Warriors in there. And then what's the guy's name?
Sligor.
Sligor, yes. Sligor, yes. Pretty cool here. Jumped right out at me. And not bad as far as like taking a couple of figures and making a tribute. Pretty good. What do you got?
Black limbs. I would probably guess from a Lee J. So
yeah. And again, these are, you can search in the Cabal, you can search hashtag pop and swap stars, and these should all pop up, but I've included the individuals' names too that have made some of these. This guy, Gabe Gonzalez made this guy, Hadriana helmet and a bunch of other stuff. Pretty cool setup here. What do you guys think?
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
Dig it.
And this one from Max Haman jumped out at me because this is the one I looked at and I was like, you can do a pop and swap now, and it kind of looks like a full custom. Like, how cool does this one look?
Yeah, seriously. Seriously.
Like this looks like something that should have come out in Wasteland. Like this just screams Wasteland.
Yeah, totally love it. I just, like I said, man, all these new parts and stuff that go together so well, and for a figure that wasn't even meant to be like this, it totally looks like a figure that they would have released. It's so cool.
So Trevor chimes in, there's a fan favorite category for the contest. So these figures, these entries, if you have some favorites, make sure you hit them up with a like, because I guess the entry with the most likes is going to win a prize as well. Also, I should note, the lawyer in me wants me to advise you that I have not double-checked any of these entries. So if any of them are non-compliant with the fairly liberal rules at this point, I haven't double-checked that. So my and our posting of this here does not necessarily mean that you are compliant. may cause various side effects. Okay. This one, absolutely. When I saw this a week or two ago, I was like, what the hell?
So
Cody,
cool.
and I'm sorry, I'm probably going to butcher your name, Cebalus or Kebalus, but how cool is this freaking thing he put together as
Dude.
a pop and swap? You can't see a face, you can't see anything, but what a freaking cool figure. At the bottom there, these tentacles are the horns from Azahazar.
So cool, bro. So freaking
Brilliant,
cool.
right? How good is that?
Brilliant. Yeah, just amazing, bro. That's
And
such
then
a
the
good
head,
idea.
the flaming head, I think, is the flaming effect thing from Azahazar. It's
Mhm.
Arazak, and then I think the limbs are from the gray, right? I believe that's the recipe that he
I'll
put
be
together.
back.
Yeah. This is my favorite. So this one, well, actually, no. There's one more that I really like a lot. What do you guys think about this one?
Super dope. So dope.
Yeah, it's very
Oh, I
dope.
love this one.
Yeah. So I don't know. Check that one out.
That's amazing.
This one I just thought I loved because it was just completely ridiculous. Patrick Patterson, and he's got some kind of cool name for it. It's like the Crazy Pet Cemetery, something or other, that clearly uses Decebalus. I guess those Vargwings, and then the
Philogis.
yes, thank you. I kept wanting to call him Phobos, and I'm like, that's not right. That's not right. That's not right. That's not right. The Phlogius head. Just completely out there. You know what I mean? Like that's one of my favorite things about the pop and swap contest is when people like you see an entry and you're like, what? Like, how'd you even think of that? That's hysterical.
I think that's got to be the accessory pack wings, because otherwise it would be more than 3 figures.
Too many figures. Yeah.
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 So.
No comment. So, all right. Okay.
Ooh.
Sean
like it.
Finley put this together, which is Thrace, freaking Morgalith, and Alithia. Now, what I didn't recognize were the bone wings, which I think he says is from the Advent of Decay, one of those packs. And the question I had was, are they painted like this, those bone wings? Because they appear to be painted metallic in his picture, which looks freaking incredible. And I'm just not familiar with the bone wings from Advent of Decay. So I don't. So if this is not compliant, maybe it's not. If there's any paint involved, I don't know if there is it or there isn't. What I do know is this looks freaking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I had to do a double take on that Morgalith armor because it looks so different when it's not on a
Yeah.
skeleton.
Yeah,
So-
it looks very like shiny, right?
Mm.
So
That was good.
So yeah, so okay, Boots says they came that way. Holy crap, dude. This is my favorite that I've seen. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
that's really killer.
New Boots has spoken.
So that's I think those are all the ones that I pulled, but yeah, I mean, just if you haven't entered yet, grab a couple of figures, put together a pop and swap and enter, man. It's really cool. I'm sure they'll be talking about it on Monday night's Legion's Lounge with the Mythic Enablers. But the pop and swap stars contest ends April 26th. All right. So now we've come to the unsolved mystery portion, which I'm going to start up, and then I'm going to step away for a second because we do have a giveaway tonight. However, I've not chosen what it is yet. So I'm going to go over to my Legion's stash and pull a figure, and that'll be the giveaway for tonight. But of course, Robert Stack is here to talk to us about the Mysteries of Mythos offering that the Four Horsemen have done now. Again, the background here is the Horsemen teased some type of Mysteries of Mythos offering a while ago, about a week and a half ago, I guess it was, 2 weeks ago, whatever it was. And as the days went on, we got some more clues, and finally we got the reveal this past Monday, right? It feels like it's been 6 months. So what's happening is it's going to be a mystery box that is going to go on sale on storehorseman.com on Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern. And they are 2-packs. So each 2-pack is $75. And you get 2 figures from a mix of available figures. First, every 2-pack will get a quote unquote newer figure that pulls from this batch that you see here on your screen. And that 2-pack will also include a second older figure, which will be from the rest of this field. But the older figures are sort of divided up into 2 camps. So you're most likely to get in your 2-pack, you're most likely to get one of these newer figures and one of these older figures, which have been reissued. So they did a rerun, a new production run of these older figures. And my understanding is that there's a lot more of these than the last group, which I actually don't have a graphic for this, but it's some warehouse finds of some really older figures in some cases. So things like Carpathius, Morgulith, Grisha.
Sir Ignatius, right?
No.
Sir
Or
Ignatius is
no,
not part
Or
of it.
Godfrey.
Or Godfrey. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's
there
a
is
gem
some-
right there, man, in itself.
Yeah, and they've said that for those warehouse finds, you're talking about really limited amounts. You're talking about, in some cases, less than a case. In at least one case, in at least in one instance, like 10 or less. So those truly are chase figures. But
Yeah.
again, the end game is each 2-pack is $75. You get one of the newer figures and then one of the older figures that are probably going to be one of these reissues. But you
Mhm.
could get a warehouse find. You could get an original Morgulith. But
So there's actually another mystery though that hasn't been revealed with this, and I'm surprised that I haven't seen anybody talking about.
Which is what?
The mystery that I would like an answer to. If you go back to that first sheet, the like chase ones, the older figures. So you've got Red Shield Soldier in there, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Flip back to the newer ones.
I know what you're going to say, Malifar.
And you got Malifar, and that's the newer figures, and they're the same wave. So where exactly was the cutoff between old and new? That's the mystery that I want to know the answer to, because it's the exact same wave.
Well, I think the answer is just it's as simple as when they decided to do a rerun, or a reissue. Red Shield Soldier is one of the ones they picked. Maybe because there was some synergy there with the Froggy helmet coming out with the Father Christmas, something like that. So they had already decided to do a reissue of Red Shield Soldier. So that makes him, because he was part of this new reissue, that's why they're calling him
version of
an older
figure, of an old version of a new figure.
He also sold out the fastest out of that wave.
Yeah,
Understood. But the
And
whole
then-
thing is supposed to be old and new, and they're the same. So, but okay.
I think it probably has more to do with the numbers of them. And in this case, they just happened to decide to do a rerun of Red Shield Soldier, and they must happen to have a bunch of Malifars, which I didn't realize that there was that many Malifars floating around. So I think that's probably just.
I haven't seen many of him in a while.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing a ton on tables, but I guess they must have them.
He was at MesquiteCon, but they didn't have a lot of them. I think maybe they had like 12 or something. There wasn't a ton.
Them little gobby bodies are getting scarce too. So if you're a customizer, getting those little gobby bodies are going to be something to start grabbing onto, man.
I mean, I wouldn't be upset about getting a mystery box that had a Red Shield Soldier and a Malifar, but it's just kind of funny that they're both from the same wave.
I gotta be honest with you. If my quote unquote newer figure is like a Scaphoid or like a Sir Owain, like right away, I'm already going to be happy. Like I'm
Mhm.
Well,
already.
Curtis
gonna
is
be
getting super fighters if he orders anything. That's what he's getting. I'm gonna make sure. I already told
That's
Cookie.
exact-
I said, you
that's
pull
ex-
Curtis' shit to the side. He's getting 2 green guys. Happy
That's
420, Curtis.
I
Yeah,
actually like Bryophytus now. I was not sold on him at first, but he's grown on
Then
me.
fine. Then you're gonna get an Eagleus.
Yeah, that I don't need.
Me neither,
Hey.
because I already paid too much for stupid Gallus.
I was actually talking about how the Eagleist would actually be kind of cool to get, just to get the old school bird bodies. I mean, those
Yeah.
are getting pretty scarce as
Yeah.
well for customizing and stuff. I mean, yeah, that'd be a cool one to get. But
Yeah.
So
some of the older figs, man, like the reissue of Kador and Snag and stuff like that. If you don't have those figures, dude, that means Snag is one of the best goblins all the way around. If you
For
don't have
sure.
that in your
Mhm.
collection, absolutely. I mean, I think it's a great opportunity, especially for newer collectors. I mean, I'm sure I speak for most of us here. I've probably got maybe 90% of all of these figures. So it's like, and I've had them sometimes 3 and 4 times over. So it's kind of like I look at it, and for me, a great opportunity to watch other new fans get older figures into their
Yeah.
collections that they've been waiting on for a long time or have not been able to pay for because of the aftermarket price. So this is a great opportunity for a lot of people to get a lot of great figures.
For sure.
and proving that no one is right all the time. My good friend Bill from the Dorclair is saying that he'd rather have any one of these new figures than another Hagnon.
Yeah.
No, I
And
think he's right. He's
I
right.
have been fighting against the Hagnon slander day and night, and I will not stop
I'm trying to
now.
tell you, he's
Yeah,
a very
okay.
dope. He's very dope.
That's right. You guys are all going to want more Hagnons when the Necronominus wave comes out, and you
Oh, yeah.
realize what you can do with Hagnon parts. I'm sorry that you guys don't like the best figure in the line. I am sorry about you being wrong.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Patrick Boyle had posted in the Cabal fun little question. What about if the reissue Hagnon that's coming out what color is the glow going to be? Because maybe they would mess with us again. Does sound like the kind of thing they would do. But Jeremy confirmed they're all green. So the reissue Hagnons are green. So that has been confirmed. But yeah, so I mean, I did want to talk about this a little bit. It's been a topic of conversation. I mean, at this point, we've probably gone through it a lot. Bill had a discussion about it on Thursday. Curtis, I'm guessing you guys talked about it last night too, on Offworld. I'll give you a sort of my take. Is that here's my take on the whole thing. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, Jesus Christ. We are grown adults that collect toys because it's fun. And presumably we're all in things like the Cabal because we like Legion figures, right? And it just seemed like every single time the Four Horsemen want to sell us these figures that we like, we bitch and complain about it. And now, listen, I'm not one of those people that
small
says,
handful
don't ever
of people
say
that
anything
bitch.
Right. I'm not one of these people that say, like, you can never say anything negative. No, if you talk about something, whether you like it or whatever, like, sometimes there's going to be negative stuff. But I do think there's a difference between, hey, you know what? Oh, man, I wish they'd done something different. Or this sucks for me personally. I get it. Like, international people are not going to get the benefit of the shipping that we in the States will get. It's for them to trade, so that makes things weird. Also, if you're a collector, Eric, sort of to your point, and Curtis, to a point you've made too, I think, if you're a collector, been around for a while and you already have everything, or if you have mostly everything and you only need a couple of things, a mystery box doesn't help you out a whole lot. It's not granted designed sort of to be sort of in that space. But I don't know. I didn't hear any of you guys also say that this is a ripoff. I can't believe they would stoop to this level.
That's a smack in the face.
It's a slap in the face.
Not
Well,
at
if you
all.
don't like it, You don't have to buy it. Nobody's forcing
Exactly.
you.
Yeah.
kidding me?
No one's forcing you to buy it. Yeah, exactly. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I looked at the whole sheet and I was like, well, that's cool. I mean, for me personally, like I said, I have most of these figures, and some of them I've had multiples of most of them. You know what I mean? But I just think like I said, I think it's an outstanding opportunity. And I mean, how cool is the freaking the flat rate shipping? I mean, for them to test that out, please start doing that with all the orders. You know what I mean? I mean, maybe if this works out for them, I mean, that'd be nice if they did flat rate shipping for everybody on all orders. I mean, maybe this is just a test run for them. I mean, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, it's just, I mean, whatever. I mean, if you don't like it, don't.
All right, this is like, so Bill said, Bill
Yeah.
from the Dork Lair chimes in and says, I was called a scumbag shill for trying to encourage level-headed conversation about it. And dude,
That's crazy.
I don't know. Like,
He was called many names.
Bill-
that poor man.
Bill talks about these things, and you know, when Bill will call bullshit if he's like, he'll say something negative or whatever, but he's generally very respectful about trying to, like, you know, give both sides or whatever, different things like that. I just think that's silly. I mean, Curtis, I think you're a good person to have weigh in because you'll call it like you see it, wrong or right. No, but seriously, you'll say something negative about the Horseman, and I know that this mystery box thing is not necessarily up your alley, but you know, what are your thoughts here? I know you'll call it as you see it.
I mean, I think that the value is here. Like there's no complaint for me when it comes to the value. I mean, even the newer figures, so to speak, it's not like they're peg warmers. Like there's some really good figures in that section. Plus the older figures. I mean, there's just some fire ones that are selling for buku bucks. So in terms of the value, it's definitely there. When it comes to like people complaining, I mean, the group is that big now that you're not going to please everybody. You're going to have some people upset. And one of the things that, you know, as an admin team that we strive for in the Cabal is letting people kind of have that forum to vent and do that kind of thing. That said, when you start coming at people and calling them names, when you start making threats, when you get frustrated because others don't think the exact same way you do, that's a problem. You can definitely, by all means, share your thoughts and opinions. But when you start, you know, slandering people, sorry, it's typed, libeling people, and making threats and stuff, that's too far. And we don't need that stuff in the community.
Agreed.
I will say for me, and I said this last night on Offworld, I don't know that the hype was worth the payoff. Like, I don't know that we needed all that. It felt like a lot of squeeze for a very little juice. Because even though these are great value and this is going to be a fun thing for people to do, there's nothing new here. And if any of the past All-Stars have proven anything to us, is that people like new stuff. The old stuff typically is the least ordered things when it comes to All-Stars waves. So the fact that you built this up with some, you know, mystery and had these people guessing these wild, crazy, ridiculous things in the anniversary year, and then delivered this, I can see, I mean, it was right away, I could tell there was going to be some letdown and there was going to be some upset people. And so I think that's just, you know, something to be aware of. If you're the Four Horsemen, like, hey, if you know this isn't going to be the biggest selling sale, this isn't going to be the thing that people are just like lined up excited for, you know, maybe you don't tease it for a week. Maybe you just drop it and it is what it is. So
yeah, and I think that makes sense to me. I do think it's subjective, but I also don't want to play like the opposite. Like, you know, I've come out pretty hard against the idea that, okay, this sale is not specifically geared towards exactly what I would want exactly right now, so it sucks, and then anybody that likes it is stupid. That's totally stupid. I also don't want to say, like, to me, this is sort of geared towards me, not on purpose, but like, I love the idea of mystery boxes. I love stuff. I love in-stock sales. I love anytime there's a little twist on a way to sort of buy something. And I think most of these figures are really great. I'd be happy with most of them. So this does speak personally to me. I'm not trying to say that because it works personally for me, everybody else should like it too. I totally understand that. But there was a couple of things when they started teasing the mystery thing was, One, I hoped it was figure related. I kind of thought that it wouldn't be. Actually, I thought it was going to be something not figure related. So I was hoping for something figure related. I love the idea of having, even if it's a small chance, like an original Morgulith or a Carpathia. To me, that's awesome. The fact that it's in stock and it's going to come out right away, all that stuff spoke to me. I'm excited about it. I'm going to get a couple of boxes. What's up, Carlo? I'm looking at probably 2 to 3. I think that's probably the sweet spot for me. So I'm excited about all of that.
I mean, if you had to guess, Jonathan, if you had to guess, like out of the Horseman's customers, what percentage actually have a majority of the line? Like, it's got to be pretty small, right? I mean, less than 10%. You know, so if you're in that group that you say, "Oh, this isn't for me," yeah, but there's a whole lot more people out there that this is for. You know, the more casual collectors, or you know, whether they're new to the line or they just don't have as many figures. There's people that aren't new to the line, but they don't have everything, you know, and this is still going to be good for them too.
Yeah, 100%. The one thing that did surprise me a little bit was just the fact that there are no limits. And the reason why that sort of surprised me was because I'm thinking maybe not as a big bad, but like for a medium to smaller sized reseller, this seems like a golden ticket a little bit. Like I'm assuming that as soon as and this sort of dovetails with something else I sort of had a problem with was one of the negative comments was, and again, you can be negative, just don't be silly about it. Calling it a ripoff.
Yeah.
I think if there's any reasonable definition of the phrase ripoff that fits these, because number one, you don't have to buy it. And number two, at $75 a 2-pack, as soon as you receive the box, I feel like it's worth more than you paid.
Well, one of the guys was attacking the Horseman because by reproducing older figures, they're reducing the value of his collection. And it's like, where do you get
it's the same guy. It's the same guy.
Yeah, like
it's the same guy. And then he takes his post down, apologizes, and then goes to another post and attacks again.
Right. It's like the Horsemen can't make figures that they've already made before. They've been doing it like since the beginning of the line. They've been doing it with All Stars. But all of a sudden this guy's like, "Oh, they made this figure that I've got that's $300. How dare they? They're basically taking money out of my pocket." Like, no, they're not.
And then Jacob says, I would argue that some saying that
for fun.
Yeah,
that's
supposed
how
to be
these
fun.
figures are. It's not if you can make money off of it, great. But in reality, you're buying these figures for fun.
They're toys.
You're buying these figures to flip. Yeah. Exactly. It's like the same thing with cars. You're buying a car because it's transportation. If you're going to buy a car and not driving, you're going to buy a super old school car. You know what I mean? Like,
can you imagine, Greg, if somebody bought a Wagoneer from you and then tomorrow they came back in there like, "I heard they just made more of these. What the heck? You just reduced the value of my Wagoneer," you know?
and here's the thing is that, you know, yes, of course. Like, what are the, like, we're pretty familiar with the Four Horsemen Studios company at this point, right? They are multiple things. So like Jacob says, the idea that they're only doing this to create a fair chance for people to get rare figures isn't completely true. No, because it is yes. I mean, you're right. They're a business. You know what I mean? They have to run a business. So yes, one of the reasons they're doing it like this, even though they didn't say this, is they want to sell these figures, you know, that we're looking at here. And this is a way where they can sell them within a defined time period. But do I think that part of the reason why they're doing it this way is to give people a chance at some older figures? Yeah, because they do think about shit like that, and they're actually doing it. You know, and again, I'm not, and just, you know, Jacob, I'm not shouting at you. I think what you're saying is true. There are multiple reasons why they're doing it like this, but that's okay. And, you know, they didn't invent the mystery box thing, right? Anybody in this community probably has at least thought about buying a mystery box. Milo does them all the time. Whenever Milo does a run of mystery boxes, I buy one. You know what I mean? Like I never get the Otho or whatever. But another thing I would point out is that most of the time when a company does like a mystery box thing like this, and there's some chase figures in there, and there potentially are some very sought after chase figures, whatever, you know, figure line you're talking about, typically the mystery box is a little bit more than the regular price for a figure to account for the cost of the chase. That's not happening here. The
Mm-mm.
2-pack is $37.50 per figure. So it's if you care about value, or that goes into your analysis, which makes sense because you're spending money, right? It's there. It's not a ripoff. There's no reasonable definition where it's a ripoff. If it's not your thing, that's cool, man. That's your thing, you know?
And guess what? The figures aren't going to lose value because you're not everybody's going to be able to get those chase figures. There's still a certain amount of chase figures that's going to be out there, and once they're gone, they're gone.
Well, and even the ones they reproduced, it's not like they brought in like 6-7 containers of these things. Like it was
Yeah.
a small production run. So,
Yep.
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you had some retailers that jump in this and try to buy a ton of these things, at that $9.99 shipping for all. I mean, buy 1,000 boxes, you're
Hey guys, can you keep the conversation going? I'm gonna go grab the giveaway. I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Sure.
I think Curtis can handle that.
I don't know, man. I've been talking about this thing for the last 3 days.
I think you got a little bit more in you.
Yeah.
So we got our ideal boxes last night. I'm curious, Amber, what would be your ideal box?
So you get one from the first list. Yeah.
So one from here and then one from here.
One from me.
Yep.
Definitely Mephitor. Even though I already have him, he's still my favorite. Aside from Melina. And then I don't know. Maybe.
Awkward silence.
I'm
There is a lot of gems here. There's a lot of gems here.
yeah.
So that's what I mean. Like you really can't lose on what you're going to get, because either you could use it
Yeah, I
for
would be happy
different
with
head
it.
sculpts put on these bodies that's going to transform that that figure into something really cool, or just the pop and swap capabilities of these.
Yeah, I mean, not only is there a lot of gems here, but we talked about last night, I think the better ones of this list are the ones that they reproduced. So there's even more of those figures.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, like you look at that top row, like Brother Mandibulus is awesome. It's, for a lot of people, it's their favorite figure, even
absolutely.
to the
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
I
and
got a Max Bird cape for mine, and it actually
when you
came
talk-
out really cool.
When you guys talk about the perfect box, I mean, are you talking about for someone that's
For you.
never had any of
No.
these figures,
Like
or
Personally.
just you?
Like
personally?
for you, even though you had these
Yeah.
figures.
Yeah, like
Oh.
if you had bought one box, Eric, and so what would be your best figure from this list and the other list, to where you got
Oh.
that box and you're like, oh my god, this is the absolute best box I could have got.
Easy. Balam, and what's the? Show me the other page. What's the? What are the other figures? It would be Balam and. Ooh, man. I'd say Balam and what's the? I can't even remember his damn name. The vampire guy on the bottom.
Hedgehog.
Oh, Valak.
Valak. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because I love the body.
Yep.
The body is phenomenal for customizing. Yeah, but Balam would be the chase figure that I would want. I mean, even though I have one, I would love to have a second one just in box. I mean, I just think that's just an outstanding figure all around. It's just a beautiful figure. There's nothing real special to it. It's just a standard night body, but the color on it and the painted Balam head. I mean, like I said, I just love that figure.
Rob, I'm right there with you, man.
That'd be a perfect box for me right there.
For me, there's some pretty crazy ones on here. Morgulith, Carpathius, Thalen, Thistlethorn, and Balam.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I realize that I'm unlikely to get any of them, but if I got any one of them, I would flip out.
Yeah, it's like I said, any one of these really, like I said, especially if you don't have them. If you don't have any of these figures and you get any one of them, it's a total win, no matter what. No matter what. I mean, even if you're, I don't know, if you're going for a thistlethorn and you get a, I don't know, a King Noglin. I mean, that's a freaking
Yeah.
huge win right there. That's a
I would
fucking
love King
phenomenal
Noglin, actually,
figure.
too.
A fucking, I mean, I don't know about you, but like Heaven's Brand, that's a great
Gwendolyn.
female figure.
Yeah.
Gwendolyn, oh my god, that's a
Purple and gold.
beautiful figure in hand. If you get
I
that
think-
figure, oh man,
I'm kind of with what Dorklayer said earlier. I think like the only dud on this list that would be hard to move would be Hagnon. Like I think
Not gonna be hard
Yeah.
to
you
move.
know
yeah,
from both lists. Like if you get Hagnon, you're looking for, let's say, a Godfrey, and you get Hagnon. Nobody's trading you a Godfrey for Hagnon unless they're just like your best friend.
yeah.
You
I
know,
don't-
or they're
a big dud for me would be like Borear. I'm not a huge.
But you
I
could at
have
least
one
move it. Like,
Borear fan
there's
in my.
people that will take Borear off your hands.
Right,
I don't know
right,
too many
right.
people that are going to take Hagnon off your hands.
Yeah,
Unless they're
Fine.
just army building them, like Walter does Malleus's.
yeah.
Well,
But
I'm gonna-
another
I
one
think I might-
too. Two more is just like Faunus and Zarya. I mean, those are two really, really hard figures to come by. If you get either one of those, man, that's a freaking super dope win. Right
There's
there.
a really good chance that you get a Faunus though, because he's
yeah,
one of
yeah,
the
the reissues.
reissues.
Yeah,
Mhm.
He's incredible.
I gotta
don't
go
have a-
Gonks, man. Gotta go Gonks.
Oh,
Gonks
Gonks
is
is
a cool one, too.
Gonks is
Yeah.
an amazing freaking goblin figure.
The only problem
Love
I
that.
have with Faunus, and Eric, you could probably relate to this. When I got my Faunus and I looked at that head, I was like, I got to repaint this. Not
I
because
pa-
there's anything
dude,
wrong with it.
I repainted mine.
Yeah.
I have one in package that hasn't ever been opened, and I have one on my shelf, and he's repainted. And I painted him like I wanted him to be a petrified wood, so I
Mhm.
painted. I repainted the head like a petrified like stone color.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the Faunus head, as far as the paint job is standard. But the sculpt is so good that as a painter, you see that and you're like, I got to try painting this. Like it's going to be so
Yeah.
much fun,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great figure. Faunus is an amazing figure. But like I said, man, I don't know. I just don't get people like, oh, it's a ripoff and blah blah blah. It's like, dude, like you said, $37 for each figure, and
Yeah.
you're getting a chase figure regardless. I mean, if you could score a snag for $37, dude, you won big time.
Oh yeah.
Or even a Fury Orc. I mean, Fury Orcs are hard as hell to come by.
Here's the situation that I would throw out there. If you've got a good chunk of these figures, you don't customize, you don't pop and swap, you don't paint, and you don't make connections in the community, so you don't know people, and you don't like selling, and you get something you already have, yeah, it's probably going to suck. But that's
Yeah,
because you've chosen not to do any of those things. You've chosen not to make
Right.
connections in the community. You've
Yep.
chosen not to be a customizer or whatever. Like, there's, yeah.
I think that the cool thing too is like if I go in on this, I might try to get maybe one or two of these figures, maybe at most one or two. If what I get isn't what I wanted, or if it's something, let's say I get one of the figures I wanted, but the other figure that comes along with it, I mean, you know how many great conversations there's going to be online afterwards with friends like us that are going to be like, hey, I got this, I'll trade you for that. If you need
Yeah.
this, you know what I mean? Like there's going to be all kinds of trades going on with no problems at all. And that's only because, like I said, we've opened ourselves up to this community and the friends that we had and the trust that we've built among this community to take care of each other. Hey man, you know what? I got an extra Gonks and I already have them in my collection. You know, if anybody needs them or whatever, let me know what you got. And, you know, put figures in hands that people need or want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bill says this
Trevor-
all the time, and it's true that like you can't it works like the rest of your life, right? Like you can't just like show up and be like, all right, hook me up, like treat me
Mhm.
like your friend,
Yeah.
even though like we don't know each other. You've got to
Yeah.
like actually be a part of the community, that people know you. And here's the thing, in this community, it doesn't take that long. Like people want to do stuff for you, but you've got to be a part of it. Like there was one, and I don't necessarily mean to call out one person in particular, but like one person made a post and was like, yeah, I've been gone for a long time, but I just wanted to come back and say that I hate mystery boxes. And like
Yeah.
Oh.
Jared like commented, he's like, "You've been gone for a while and you came back to write this?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
I don't
Exactly.
know that you don't like mystery boxes. And who are you again?
Yeah. Drive by bitch slap. Yeah.
yeah, that's all. Like, listen, people here will take care of you, even if they don't
Yeah.
know you. They will take care of you. You just gotta.
Well, one thing Trevor was talking about the other night too is like how many people you think are going to open these things and like go live on Facebook? Because like anybody can go live in the Cabal. That would be awesome. Like just
That's
seeing
awesome.
a bunch of people opening their mystery boxes.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I'm sure that's going to be a huge thing. A bunch of
Oh,
posts
yeah.
of people just opening them up, just blind, and say, "Okay, let's see what I got." You know what I mean?
I think it's gonna be
Yeah.
a blast. I think it's gonna be
Yeah.
great.
Hey,
Real quick,
who did I see the other day? I was blown away. Someone got a in a mystery box. Well, I don't know if it was from Empire Toy Shop or whoever does those
Otho?
mystery box. Yeah, they got the Otho, dude. I was
That
like,
was-
oh
yeah,
my
wasn't that
God.
Kenpool? Wasn't
Yeah,
that
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah, it was
Got it,
Kenpool.
yeah.
Dude. I mean, wow, man, what a freaking score.
It's funny too because the way he opened it, like he showed us first before he
Yeah,
looked at
yeah.
it, so we knew, but he didn't
Dude.
know. And then he turns and sees it, and he like, yeah,
Dude,
that was great.
wow,
That's
that was
incredible.
so awesome, dude.
Couldn't happen a nicer guy too. That dude's
Oh,
so
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
So awesome. I was like, wow, dude, that's amazing. That would be an amazing figure to open up. Like,
And it's funny you should mention that because no, the giveaway is not an Otho.
so what?
But I did buy one of Milo's Otho mystery boxes because I normally go in on the mystery boxes because I think they're fun. Like I think
Mhm.
the idea of really not knowing what you're going to get is fun. And I did not get the Otho. Instead, what I got was an Arazak,
Nice,
which is
nice.
one of my favorite figures from the Poxus wave. And that is our giveaway tonight, my friends.
There you go.
So if you win tonight's giveaway, you will get a Mythic Legions Poxus Wave Arazak, brand new, unopened.
Nice.
And share screen. The hashtag, if you want to enter to win a brand new Mythic Legions Poxus Wave Arazak,
Purple figure.
also a purple figure, in honor of my Unsolved Mysteries themed thumbnail, hashtag Robert Stack. Rest in peace, Mr. Stack.
Nice.
Hashtag Robert Stack is the hashtag for the Arazak giveaway. Also from Airplane fame.
Mhm.
Hashtag Robert Stack.
Nice.
So we'll let that collect sort of for a while. So final thoughts on the mystery boxes. I know that we have some pretty experienced collectors here, so this might not be up everyone's alley. Am I the only one? I'm gonna go in on 2 or 3. Anybody else joining me?
I'll go in. I'll see what I can. I'll see how fast my fingers are before everything gets dumped and fucking stolen out of my cart. But I'll try.
That's another thing is I don't know.
I just think
long they're gonna
it's
last.
funny. I mean, to me, I think that's the funniest thing to like try to go in and you like put like 1 or 2 figures and you're like, okay, that's enough. And you go to the credit card thing and it's like your card is empty. You're like, fuck.
Well, the good thing
You
with
keep
this
going
is
back, you're like-
you don't get to pick any figures. You just pick a box.
Just go a number of boxes and that's it.
There's number of boxes. There's no figures that you're picking out of this. 'cause it's
Oh,
a
you don't
mystery box.
actually select the figures you
No,
want. You
it's a mystery
oh
box.
Oh my
No, it's
god.
blind.
So
dude.
Oh,
there's
wow.
no selling out. You pick a box. You pick 2 boxes. You pick 3 boxes. You pick 4 boxes.
Oh,
You pick how many boxes you want.
I
And they're
did not
truly a
realize
mystery
that.
because we've already started packing them prior to the orders.
Oh, that's so cool. I
So
totally
this
didn't
way,
realize that.
It's a mystery to everybody.
Oh, that's super dope. I thought you like selected the chase
no,
figure
no,
that you
no.
wanted, and then you got the mystery
No,
part
no,
was
no,
like
no.
the newer figure that you got.
No,
Nope.
it's all a mystery. It's all a
that's-
surprise.
Oh, that's super cool. Unless you get 2 Bryophytuses, but whatever.
Well, you're not going to get any doubles. That's something that you're not going to get. It's going to be 1 and 1 of something. So it's going to be a surprise on something. The moment-
Yeah.
LeBron was
When
like,
the
why,
edibles-
why is there so much
the moment the
controversy?
edible kicks
I bet
in,
you-
and it's
Complaining
420.
about?
it
You
is
want a
420.
Morgulith? Just click Morgulith.
Yeah.
Dude,
So easy.
I'm sorry. I totally did not
They're
understand.
Super
the-
easy, barely an inconvenience.
Yes,
That's all I got to say.
I'm out of the loop. I'm sorry.
This screenshot's going in the intro for next week. Oh, and while I'm thinking of it, everybody, can you just give me like a little pose, like we're having a really good, like, fun conversation? Excellent, thank you guys.
I think
And the reason is in the intro, I've been putting in screenshots of prior lives, and what I realized is it's difficult to find a good screenshot when nobody's posing, because some people are going to be like this.
Yeah.
Some people are
I
going
just
to
want
be
to
like
give
this.
a quick. I want to give a quick shout out to Noble Bear and Jesse for this this little creation. They came up. Noble Bear printed this, and Jesse painted it
Nice.
for me, and
Nice.
I loved it. My little
Nice.
Noble
That's
Bear
awesome.
and Flannel Ninja collab.
Nice.
Mhm.
collab.
That's dope. Here,
That's
let me
awesome.
solo you real quick. Throw that back up there.
That's awesome, bro.
Yeah.
That's so good.
the no cares bear.
He's like, fuck
The
it.
moment LeBron finds out it's a mystery box.
Exactly. you got me there, bro. That was a full on 420 moment. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I totally thought you could actually select one of the figures, and then the other one was a mystery.
No,
I
no,
did
that-
that's a box,
the-
but
the-
why do they
The
call
whole
it
entire box
mystery?
is a mystery.
It's a complete mystery. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Hey, listen,
Yeah.
this is even the horsemen didn't know what they were doing, but I did.
Yeah, that's right.
420.
You know what they were doing. You know exactly what they were doing.
When they realized that I was in the studio, like, you know what this is, right? And they were like, "Oh shit!"
Trust me, dude.
You're like that's my favorite new shirt.
As soon as we're done here, trust me. Nothing. I was just looking, trying to make sure there's nobody behind me.
Oh yeah, the bloodshot eyes aren't showing up. Let's
Yeah,
get a real
you
close-up.
could see that. Yeah, they're bloodshot. That's
No, you
so
can see it a
fun.
little bit. Yeah.
That's great, dude. Oh man, that's
SDL
so good.
exclusive premiere. Smokey the Bear.
That's right.
Yeah.
Let me just make sure this is done, right? Done. Yeah, that's done. So guys, what else? What's the Curtis, let us in a little bit behind the curtain here.
Mhm.
As the producer of the Purple Gang Gang show, is there like a plan? Do you guys have a pre-show meeting? Are there notes? Do you have to check your notes? Like, what do you know about tonight's show before you get there?
I know
That show's
nothing.
more like a mystery box.
Yeah, it is a mystery box.
The whole
of a
show's
show.
a mystery box.
Yeah.
You open up the show, and this is what you get.
Exactly.
I will say that those guys, and this is really breaking the fourth wall, but those guys actually prep more for that show than any other show that I've been on.
Mhm.
I'm not included in it. They do a lot of that without me, where they're doing these videos and they're having people do like record things for them, and they're clipping things and putting stuff together. Like they actually do a lot of work prep beforehand.
Yeah,
And then
they
they've
do.
got like a
Nothing.
list. They've got like a list of like the show, how the show is supposed to run, and like what order things are supposed to go in. It looks like chaos, but it actually is very organized. But yeah, I'm not.
It's organized chaos.
Yeah, I'm just in the background, just to hit buttons, and that's really
Well,
it.
that's what, when they first started doing their show, that was the thing that jumped out to me the most. And I've been talking to people about this too, was that it's so different from almost every other one of these Legions sort of focus shows, different than what we do here. It's basically like a sketch show. It's almost like they're more Saturday Night Live than we are. You
Yeah,
know
it's
what I
like
mean?
variety hour. Yeah.
And I was like, I sort of was impressed with, and I like the idea of them doing something different. The fact that a lot of that stuff like takes a lot of the Vans shitting on all of it.
I'm laughing at Jesse because Like literally the only thing that we do for shelf selections is we pick out 4 pictures each week. And if I ask Jesse for his pictures before Sunday, he's like, "I'll get them to you." Like, yeah, it's like talking to him for a show.
Yeah. I'm about to say Jesse.
Like,
That's
set up
prep time, Jesse, right there.
Yeah. And that's literally the only thing we do for our show is just select 4 photos. So.
Look, I think it was one of their first shows. Purple Gang Gang shows was the Len show. When Len LaGuardia was on but wasn't on.
Yeah.
And I'd like the next day I was like in chats, I was like, do you guys realize how much work it probably took to put all that together? Like that,
you know
that
what
doesn't
was
happen
funny
by
with
itself. Like,
so the way that they do it is they just kind of tell people you're going to be our guest next week. They don't ask them. They just say you're going to be our guest next week.
6?
And then they kind of guilt them throughout the week to make sure that they show up. And if they don't show up, then I get to be that guest. And so that's what happened with the Len one. I found out like 30 or 40 minutes before the show, Len wasn't going to be there, and I needed to be Len. Like,
It was perfect, dude. It's so
But it
good.
was so like the thing that was so good about it was, and I don't know how much of this I think a lot of it was intentional, was that I watched that show and I'm like an hour in and I'm like, Len LaGuardia hasn't been on, but he's been on in 3 different versions. Like at that point, there was like the Curtis version, there was like 2 other skits they had put together, and I'm like, that takes a lot of work. Like that's a lot of work. So I just like the idea of people just doing something different, trying. Like,
I think that's the only reason Trevor showed up for his shows, because we told him, like, if you don't show up, I'm going to be Trevor, and he was like, I can't have that. Like, I can't have Curtis representing me. Yeah,
fair. Oh wait, no, there is a Santa Claus. Gee, I'm sorry. That was him. That was Len.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was totally Len.
Again, remember, we're gonna pull the giveaway pretty soon here. Hashtag Robert Stack for this guy.
And join us tomorrow for the Swedes. 1 p.m. Eastern.
For sure.
We're gonna pull this bad boy in just another minute or 2. So I'm checking out the chat here. Checking out the chat. Sorry, Steph. That was Curtis's fault. It's fine. All right, let's give away this toy. Last chance, guys.
Ooh.
Hashtag Robert Stack. Hashtag Robert Stack.
Damn it, I don't got my tablet to jump in.
What's that?
I don't got my tablet to jump in.
Hashtag. How many Arizaks do you have already?
Trevor said you would have shaved your head if I hadn't shown up. No, but I was feverishly searching for a 1/6 shooter hat to wear. And if I couldn't find one, we were going to get a white hat and just write in like Sharpie 1/6 shooter on the hat.
And I have 3 of them, I think. 3 or 2.
All right, here we go. Hashtag Robert Stack.
Good luck.
Good luck,
Here it
everybody.
comes.
Good luck.
3, 2, 1.5.
Just send it to the McCoys.
Yeah, right. Or the orcs.
If they win,
There we
they said
go.
they'd give it to me.
I thought we couldn't play.
Please don't tell me I have to break it in half.
No, actually, go ahead and save it. We'll give it away on Purple Gang Gang. So,
You got it, brother.
yep,
Nice.
Got it, my man.
we'll pass it on.
Oh boy.
Wait, hold up.
Hey, you just got to watch another show. We're still giving it away again. So,
Little
100%.
little Amber Gonzalez luck rubbed off on Curtis right now.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
yep.
Yeah, listen, somebody's gonna get it. Somebody's gonna get it.
Mhm. We're
But
playing
yeah,
Past
thank
the
you.
Wizard.
Thank you for coming on, Curtis, and thank you for spreading the love over to Purple Gang Gang as well. And you guys, I'm sure they're gonna have a bunch of. They tend to have multiple giveaways, right, during their
Oh
show.
yeah. They've got stuff planned for tonight.
Real quick, I would like to share something that nobody cares about except me. Hold on. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Is it here? No, there. Where'd it go?
It seems like that's where it's going.
And I'll be on every one of them.
There it is.
I've done a show. Tuesday was the only day this week I didn't do a show. I've been in a show every other day.
So I just wanted to say, throw this out there. You might have noticed in recent months, I've talked a little bit more about wrestling on this channel than I had before. I realize that's not everybody's cup of tea, so that's fine. So we're not going to do it all the time. But I would be remiss if I didn't throw out there that my man, Swerve Strickland, has his chance to become AEW World Champion tomorrow night on Dynasty, pay-per-view AEW Dynasty.
Cool.
So that's it. Anybody that's interested in that, talk to me.
I actually like when you talk wrestling, but I prefer it when you got Big Nerdy on. Like you guys gel with Nerdy, and yeah, the wrestling talk is good.
Yeah, dude, he's awesome. And talk, he's very like, he's a good dude anyway, but like the wrestling thing, it's good to have somebody to like that you can bounce off with like that. So yeah, Swerve Strickland. If he wins the championship tomorrow night, I will post a bunch of excited posts about it because I've been waiting for it for a long time. All right, guys.
Cool.
What else? What else we got here? We got Purple Gang Gang tonight, Shooting the Shelf tomorrow, Legion's Ladies on Thursday. We've got the Mysteries of Mythos sale on Monday.
Lounge on Monday with the Mythic Enablers.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. 4-ish on Wednesday.
4-ish on Wednesday. Anything else you guys wanted to talk about before we hopped off here?
I think I'm good.
Happy 420.
I love Samoa Joe, but it's time to take the title off him and put it on Swerve. Dub. Joe's going to kill him.
Uh-oh.
I will be so sad if that happens. All right, guys. I guess we'll call it a night and give everybody some time off before the Purple Gang Gang at 9:00. First of all, thanks always to my boys Ryan and Eric. Thank you for hopping on and doing this with me. I love doing this. Amber, also a part of the SDL crew. Thank you for being here.
Yes.
Legion's Ladies on Thursday night. Curtis, my man, my friend, thank you so much for coming on too, man. The door is always open for you, sir.
He'll definitely come through that door.
Yeah, definitely just come through the door. And Big Greg, my man, thank you for coming through on 420, buddy.
Always, man.
Yeah, buddy.
Always a pleasure.
Good to see you, Greg.
Yep. And
You know it, brother.
thanks again, everybody who stopped in during the chat. We definitely appreciate it. Thank you so much for Curtis, Boots, Rob, I think was in there. Our first ever super chats. We're very excited to quit
And
all of
Purple
our
Gang
jobs. And Purple Gang Gang, thank you so much, guys.
I think that was Curtis, though.
It was
I still think that was Curtis involved in that
That
super chat.
definitely
He
was.
took it out of petty cash. He took it out of petty cash.
I mean, anything Curtis does is petty cash.
Thanks again for everybody that watches on the replay. We appreciate you. Please subscribe to the channel. Please follow Ryan on Instagram at Toy Goof and Gons. Late Night LeBron also on Instagram will be probably popping up there in the future. We appreciate you. We will see you next week at a special time, back to 3 p.m. Eastern, when it's the SDL crew live with the Euro Legions boys.
Yeah, boy.
Next Saturday at 3. And until then,
I'll catch the replay.
exactly. Don't forget the number one rule. Be cool. Later.